Okay, so this thing's had a good 18 hours. I went ahead and came home from work today. This thing's been curing all night while I was asleep, and today at work, so here I am at home again. As you can see, it's pretty solid, pretty sturdy. I mean, I can really put my weight on it, and I'm actually pushing the chair over. So you see, it's pretty well solid and rugged now. The glue's had a good chance to dry. You can see there's the glue line coming up out of there. All right, the brackets are holding it well in place. I guess I don't need the tape on here anymore. Just go ahead and peel that off. That was only there to help hold the little front edge thing in place. So I could probably get in there with a little X-Acto knife and carve the glue back and smooth it down. Get a little piece of sandpaper and rub it down and clean it up a little bit, and then cover it up. Now I drilled extra holes because I was just drilling willy-nilly on this thing because I didn't know how many screws I was going to need to hold it down when I drilled the pilot holes, and I didn't have all that many screws at the time. So looks pretty good. See, I've got my old Cytec X45. Sadly, they no longer work. I really liked these controls, but I've moved on to the CH, so got that in place. That's kind of how it looks now. So this video is going to be about the steps I took to do this side of the chair, and I'm going to go ahead and do a step-by-step as I make the right side armrest and bracket to put on there. You see, I got a little box there holding the chair up because, of course, the piece that goes here and here for the arm that connects the two is obviously not on it. So, coming over here, done a little cleaning in here, so it's not as much of a mess as it was when I first started this project. First thing you want to do is make sure you have the adequate tools to do the job. So to do this job, I basically needed, just zoom out, straight edge ruler, alright, so I can do measurements and draw straight lines. Got a T-square right there to make sure it's all lined up and square. There's the hardware needed for the armrest to attach back to the chair. You want to make sure you keep hold of that. You're going to need it. Obviously the tools, screws, you're going to want to find the ones that work perfect. Some you might have just barely enough arm for a 1 inch, or you might need to go deeper for 1.5. They even make them in 2 and 3 inch screw lengths, depending on how deep you want to go. Little mini brackets that I had left over from another project. Brackets that I bought for this project. So, duct tape, obviously. You can't get enough duct tape. There should never be a household without one. Without a rule. Alright, those bigger brackets that I tried that weren't working for me. So these ones right here for this particular project is 3 inches by 4 inches, and they fit perfectly, fit beautifully. That's probably more of a 5 by 4 inch there. Alright, so I'm going to have cutting tools. There's a circular saw and a jigsaw, and both of these connect to my Brock & Decker Matrix drill. Love this thing. I mean, you get all the versatility of having all the big tools, but you don't have to store all the big tools because I don't have a gigantic garage. These will all fit in a decent sized toolbox and don't take up all that much room, and they work just as well as the big boy toys. So obviously the screw attachment there with the screw in there, so screw in my screws. You'll also want a drill bit that is slightly smaller in diameter than the size screws you will be using, because you'll want to drill pilot holes. If you try to do it without drilling pilot holes, you'll tear the shit out of the wood. It won't look nice, and you'll fight to try to get the holes lined up. And as you're screwing one piece of wood into another, obviously it's not going to turn out. I mean, you're going to fight it. So the very first part of the thing I need is what you're going to want to do after you take your arm off. See, this one here, it's got the fancy cushion that goes along the inside that comes off, and this is the base arm itself. So depending on how you plan on attaching the setup, you want to get your boards, which again are these shelving boards, and as you can see, I've already drawn the lines for which I will need to do this. So basically, take your piece and you lay it on your board and just kind of line it up so it's all nice and even all the way around. The bottom part is perfectly flat with the bottom of the board, and then I got the front lined up here, and then you just take your pencil and you just draw the shape of the arm inside of this, and you know when you take it off that that's where the arm's going to go. And obviously when you get ready to get together, I will cut the board down to the size. We'll cut the edges off so it matches the outside of the arm. Alright, this piece right here we'll leave because you know when we have it up on edge, you can see I've also already pre-measured the top and lined it up so that my Hotas will sit here. This piece right here is going to be cut and gone, and this piece right here will sit snug right up against the arm, so it'll look like this when it gets done. So, and then this piece right here will actually be writing on the top something like this. So, there we go. And then you can see the front there. Now it'll actually be closer up like this when we get done. And you see where I've left that top corner right here. Not the best handiwork trying to work a hand camcorder and do this, but where this is right here will be flat, and this angle piece that I cut off down here will actually take out, turn around, and put up here in between this board and this board, and it'll look like we did over here, and it'll have that front support so that this right here's got support. And I'm still going to go in and drill a pilot hole here, there we go, here, and here up into this board, and put a couple just put a couple of small screws in there just for extra support, just to make sure it's not going anywhere. Alright, so the very first thing I would do, even before you do this, because every chair is going to be different. You're never going to get the same one as what I've got. You could end up trying to do something like this with a regular office chair like this. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do before you do anything else is take your arm and leave it on the chair, and you want to cut out some pieces of cardboard into a shape that you think will work, and just kind of maybe line it up with your chair, and just get kind of an idea of how you were going to plan this out, and what you're going to do to make your machine work for you. So, you know, something like this. You can see how this is what your end goal is going to be. Once you have that rough draft idea cut out, you can go ahead and get your wood and bring it out and throw something down like this right here on top of the wood, and see what that's going to do. And just kind of, your first one you can guess measure, guess cut, and put into shape. That's what I did with this one. It was pretty much guessing. It's my first attempt at doing anything like this. Your second one, you basically can take the measurements you got off the first when you did it and make the same measurements. You just want to reverse your thing right here when you get done. So this one goes this way in, this one right here will go this way in. So you'll have that there. Alright, so I think I've showed you all the tools you might want to have. You're obviously going to want to have a good tool kit full of tools that you can use depending on exactly what you're going to do. Drill set will be very useful. You'll always need hand tools for your chairs. Some of the parts are just in at odd angles. You know, they could be back under here. If you look at this right here, the screw on the arm here and here, when I put the cushion on, are like this. Well, when you get ready to do this, when you get ready to put it all back together, this is going to be in the way. So you're going to have to go and reach in through the end down here with a hand tool and try to hand screw those in. And of course there's no light, so you're going to be doing it by feel, trying to get everything back together again. But once you do, you're going to have an amazing experience, I think. I'm sure that when I get done with all this, it's going to be one of the most comfortable setups for dog fighting in the verse. Alright, so what I'm going to go do now is I'm going to get upstairs. I'm going to cut out these pieces on the back deck. I did the first ones in the house and I made a massive mess. Got dust everywhere. And I'm pretty sure my computer over there is screaming at me for it. But you're going to want to vacuum to pick up after yourself when you're done. So, anyways, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and stop this particular video. Go up and cut these, and then I'll be back.